Grace and peace, family. Grace and peace. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. My aunt hotel. Namaste. Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope you can see and hear me okay. This is Vicki Dillard, your sister with the curly braids. I am so pleased to be here with you late night. Yes, I popped up on you in the middle of the week here on my own channel at VickiDillard.tv. Of course, if you have seen me in other in other platforms and networks that I've helped to build, give credibility and great profit to over the years. Some of you are wondering, where in the world am I? You can still find my content on other platforms, but there have been some changes with certain networks that I was on. So if you want to see me live from time to time, there's no set schedule right now. But just know you can see me and my content here at VickiDillard.tv. I have a little bit of a tradition that on the count of three, I want everybody that's coming in to be sure to hit that thumbs up button and to share. Would you do that? I ask that you do that because it makes it more likely that other folks will know that we're here. And so because they use the algorithms within the platforms to control certain things, they can determine whether or not folks can see us or not. I understand that often some of my content, not just here, but on other platforms, for whatever reason, is not often seen. I see some of you coming on in, my brother Larry, Yaya, Daryl, and James, Vic, Hillary, Cynthia, Sherwin. I see you all coming on in. Thank you all so much for joining us. On the count of three, I want everybody to hit that thumbs up button, would you? And share. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Share. Thank you all so very much, dear family. By the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, be sure to do so at Vicki X Dillard. That's Vicki X Dillard, Vicki. Remember, don't put any Y's in my name, no E's in my name, no double K's in my name. My name is not short for Victoria. My mother said I didn't look like a Victoria. My name is simply spelled Vicki. That's wherever you go. Oftentimes, if you're looking for me and just want to make up a way to spell my name, you might miss me. So you can follow me there on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. You can follow me on TikTok at I am Vicki Dillard, the one and only. I am Vicki Dillard. You can also follow me on Twitter at Dillard Vicki and a couple of different Facebook pages. They have the fan page there too at Vicki Dillard. And of course, here at YouTube at VickiDillard.tv. I give some of my content you see on other platforms as well. Join my email list so that you have information about some of the other networks where you can watch some of my commentary, both national commentary and international commentary. Yes, I speak on it. Of course, I will speak on global issues because I am the mother of civilization, the original woman. So, of course, I have something to say about my own planet. Goddess forbid. Hey, Aquarius, our beautiful moderator that's highlighted in blue there. You must be out of your mind if you think it's most appropriate to have the deep state individuals and the unseen, the shadow government, the diabolical shadow government that operates through both political parties and through all major religions, to just be the ones that's supposed to have something to say, because they've complicated the things of the world. And because of their covert interests that they have all over the planet that it's not easily known to you, you think that we're not supposed to have any input in the goings on of our planet. Ninja, stuff don't need to be complicated. It's my world. And my opinion matters about the world. And I'm going to be giving more insight about what's going on in the world, because not only am I a prophetic voice for this planet, but as the mother of the planet, I don't need the newness and the people whose time is up on our planet to be trying to give me instructions on the best way to run the planet. Somebody say the fruit speaks for itself. The spoiled fruit, the madness of the world and the direction it's going in. I don't need to follow nothing you telling me to do. God, today. But enough of that, because I won't be long, but I will be strong. That's exactly right. I mean, the slowness. Somebody put a turtle in the chat. Welcome, family. Y'all hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. Would you? Thumbs up, share, share, share. By the way, the printer is already working on the magazines. You all have certainly been purchasing them. So I'm doing a little bit of an extension now because of a deal that I have now with them. So I'm able to make a few more available to folks even while it's being printed. So if you want to get my spring edition of my Venus magazine, this is my second magazine, which I'm so excited about. Go to my website. The link is pinned at the top of the chat to order yours today. Ladies, we manifest differently from men. We have a womb. And so in this issue, we're going to be talking about sacred secrets of being more intentional about manifesting sacred love and money. Y'all don't want to miss this. We're going to give girly affirmations. This is like our secrets, a girly secret society, a secret society manual. That is so yummy. And brothers, get that for the lovely lady in your life. That would be such a wonderful gift. And I can assure you, beloved, you'll thank me later. Larry, thank you for your super chat. He says, rule and reign, queen. Thank you so much. You know how we do over here. Let me hit the gavel on that. Y'all know your sister with the curly braids is the original hammer, baby. I don't know about all the other people that then came later. Talk black to me. This revelation 18, 19 years ago. Now we're in a new year. So it's approximately closer to 19 years and 18 years ago that I had this supernatural revelation of the gavel. And I brought it to the online platforms because my word matters. And I want you to know that your word matters. We're not only controlling the narrative, but we're controlling world events. And I cannot overemphasize how media is warfare. That is a perspective that many of you are not used to hearing in these spaces, but I brought it to you and I'm going to continue to emphasize it because it's more important than a lot of the other stuff that you're hearing. I know you think a lot of the stuff that we're told and the stuff that we talk about is more important, but the things that I bring up are prophetic. And there's a particular order and energy that's inside of the stuff that I talk about, which requires us to pay attention. FBA family, your super chat is gift a blessed 1,000-fold. She says, senior citizens for Vicki, $20. Thank you so much. Mwah. The senior citizens for Vicki, your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold. Thank you so much for that. How precious is that? And the thing that I love about my influence over the years is that it's touched the youth, the up and out, the down and out, and everybody in between. Talk black to me, somebody. That's the beauty of it. Good to see you too, Breezy. So, family, again, get your Venus magazine. Today, we still have a few more available for you. You can get it at the website at vickiplanet.com, VICKIplanet.com, or just click the link that's pinned in the description box or pinned at the top of the chat right now. Thank you so very much, depending if you're watching this now or the replay later. Family, the reason why I continue to bring a perspective about the seriousness of media and the fact that we're engaged in warfare that is not just subjected to contention on this plane is because the incessant attacks, and I'm going to speak for myself, against me in particular over the years, has to do with an unseen energy. It has to do with the seeding of the new world that is brought about in a foolish way. When I say a foolish way, in a manner that's considered to be foolish to those who think they're intelligent. There is a consciousness to the things that I say and speak. And so the reality of this new world, this new government, and when I'm talking about that, I'm talking first, there's a spiritual shift is what I'm trying to get you to see. There's a changing of the guards, meaning there's a changing of the natural governments on earth. And then there's a changing of the goddesses and gods. Now, it doesn't matter if you are religious or not. It doesn't matter if you're spiritual or not. It does not stop the reality, the profundity, and the truth of what I'm saying to you today. Now, R0land Martin, who you all know I can drag from here to eternity without any effort or thought before clicking go live. God, today. It's easy to drag the nothingness and the devastation. R0land is the devastation. There's no reason for me to do that because every time he attacks me for these many years, you all should be convinced more than ever that it is because I'm extraordinarily effective. you should understand that he represents interests that are not yours. And that he is pushing for the anti-Black, oppressive, imperialist United States of America to continue. Because he does not exemplify the same level of energy for the powers that shouldn't be as he does for someone like me. And of course, he's not the only one. I have people that have been adversarial, the people that have been adversaries, most of which, many of these folks I don't know, have never met, and they pop up like every other day. They're little small, low levels. Some of y'all may consider of them, some of them high levels, devils. Some of them are in mainstream media. Some of them are other types of officials. And that is because of the new world, the new energy, the new consciousness that I represent, which also includes a new spiritual team and some of our ancestors. Now, if you don't understand that right now, if you're triggered by that because of the wicked and diabolical and demonic indoctrination you've been given over time, more than likely Christianity, then you need to sign up for my school at the Vicki Dillard Mystery School, so I can help to educate you so you're not scared of your own power. And so that you will understand who the real God and goddess is. Now, R0land is an interesting thing to talk about, not just because of who he is and what it is that's emerged from the underworld, from a river somewhere, by himself or by itself. It's because he is still worshiping and doing the bidding of oppressive political party, the Democrat Party, by extension, the United States of America, because obviously the Democrats are part of the United States of America, and his former connection to mainstream media and his desire to continue to be connected to mainstream media. These are diabolical forces that he supports and represents and still wants to be tethered to. Do you understand? So his incessant, obsessive, constant, nonstop, year in, year out attacks on me has to do with that. Now, before some of you all who are wildly ignorant, that will come to the low level and idiotic conclusion, but Vicki, I seen you call him a name. You are someone that don't understand warfare. And you are someone that doesn't understand the energy that comes along with certain words to properly identify your enemy. And you don't understand that the reason why he came on my radar was because I first heard him cuss out Black folks. And as I continued to follow him, he continued to cuss out Black folks by calling us Simple Simon mother effers because we disagree with him politically. Now he cusses more than he ever has before, but R0land only does that because he's gotten a lot of pushback from cussing us out and being disrespectful, which of course I called him out on. So to make it look like he don't just cuss us out, he starts just cussing in general now. But if you go look at the records, this was not something he regularly did. He only reserved calling folks, the people that he called MFers and cussing out all the time was us. So over the past 8, 9, 10 months, he's amplified his cussing. You understand? Some of y'all you don't understand that. And then some of you think that you are righteous and ethical. I reserve certain words that have a type of energy to it for spirits I'm dealing with. See, when I see you getting cozy and cuddly with the spirit, the way to break that off your little wicked, silly, slow mind is by calling them the name that they are. I got this. Some of y'all's Lord and Savior Jesus Christ calls certain ones snakes and vipers and devils. He used such language with those individuals because he needed you to understand what spirits they represented, what spirit they housed. See, I got to talk to y'all using Sunday school language for you to get it. Because you're using Sunday school mindset to try to tell me how I need to refer to somebody when they believe in your destruction. Silly. You don't see me using certain language and this, that, and the third for certain individuals and entities. But when you show yourself to be a diabolical enemy for my people, I treat you like that. I got this. Let me focus on this here. I got this. Let me call out the spirits. That's not what you're supposed to do. That's what I'm supposed to do. Some of y'all's confused self. All you care is about niceties and you getting ready to go under. You getting ready to drown. And you want to sit here and talk to me about some silly niceties while we still in bondage 500 years later. I'm not going to go with your loser strategies. God, today. Talk black to me, somebody. I got this with your scary self. With your scary self. I got this. This not your level. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. Now watch this. Watch this. So R0land recently, of course, this came to my attention from other people because, I can only take so much of it. And again, when I'm referring to R0land, you all know I'm automatically referring to the oppressive U.S. system, governmental system that believes in giving everything to everybody but us, that believes in giving the middle finger to their most faithful voting bloc, which are Black Americans, which gives hundreds of billions of dollars to other people every single year, but tell you what they not going to do for you after creating America and shedding blood for America and serving in her foreign wars while we were under every form of bondage. I'm going to need y'all to listen to me real good today. Media is warfare. So what I'm doing and representing your voice and your interests immediately equals not only warfare, but power. The fact that we're speaking for ourselves, communicating among ourselves, is what also is prompting your government that had bipartisan support today to push through a bill to force TikTok to sell its Chinese ownership to somebody else. And some of y'all actually think that China is a bigger enemy than the United States. You are out of your minds. You're out of your minds. You are out of your minds. You're out of your minds. You're out of your minds. Did I say you're out of your minds? The Republicans and Democrats only have bipartisan agreement when it comes down to war. When it comes down to Israel, which is war. God, today. When it comes down to Ukraine, because there ain't but a couple of Republicans that's mad about the Ukrainian money, and that's only because they're trying to use that as leverage so that they can get the Biden administration to give them some money for the border, allegedly. So whenever it's something shady that has to do with restricting you, How many of y'all remember the Iraq War? How many of you all remember the Patriot Act where they took a whole hell of a lot of your rights after 9/11? And the overwhelming bipartisan support that comes in. Whenever you see both sides give a lot of agreement, they're trying to take something from you, silly. Because they're both the same coin, just different sides. Do you understand? Some of y'all out here right now, China the enemy, communist China. Yeah, America surveillance us, but America, but China gonna use our data for the enemy. The enemy what? Which one of them has bloody genocide on their hands? Which one of them has centuries old a history of mess making and coups and murdering whole populations and stealing all their resources around the world? What's wrong with y'all? You were confused. Y'all confused. Folks are sitting up here talking about China's Belt and Road Initiative that involves multiple nations, talking about the Belt and Road Initiative is pimping the Africans, and it's white Western countries that's saying it, and America saying that they mad at China because China is making the Africans get in debt because of their Belt and Road Initiative. Ninja, since when did white America and the white Western world care about whether or not Africa was being pimped? Don't you know about the IMF, the International Monetary Fund? Don't you know about the World Bank that keeps pimping those countries and stealing from them and putting them in untenable economic situations? Don't you know that it's the U.S. that imposes that Africa is the most sanctioned continent, but Russia is the most sanctioned country right now? And most importantly, Ninja, you who are foundational Black Americans, they're not giving you no reparations. But the Japanese, who they interned in camps, put them in the camp for a couple of years, they descendants get it. Ukrainians get your hundreds of billions of dollars in a matter of 2 years. White Afghans get your money. Legal immigrants get your money. Illegal immigrants get your money. And the oppressive white class keeps getting the benefits and pimping us. What's wrong with y'all? Communist China. No, Democrat America, whatever that is still enslaving our people. Right now in Alabama, there's a major pushback to our brothers and sisters that's in Alabama in prison. Here's a piece. I've been following this for some time. This says his powerful resistance becomes a threat to the prison system. Who are we talking about? For 3 decades, Robert Earl Council, also known as Kinetic Justice, has organized resistance while incarcerated in Alabama. He co-founded the Free Alabama movement in 2013. In 2016, his coalition helped coordinate the largest prison strike in U.S. history, in which 24,000 incarcerated people in 24 states participated. Those efforts have not come without consequences. Justice is known for filing lawsuits, assisting their other incarcerated people in reporting abuses in Alabama prisons, which, according to the Equal Justice Initiative, are the deadliest in the U.S. I need y'all to listen real quick before I show you this clip of R0land's latest attack on me, which is not an attack. It's not an effective attack. It's proof of my power, and it's a proof of the new world that's emerging. And it doesn't, to me, it comes at the perfect time, me talking about this, because y'all sent me the information a few days ago. So I think it's been less than 2 weeks since he did this latest attack that I know of. But I want to connect it to this TikTok legislation. Back to our brother Robert Earl Council, known as Kinetic Justice, in the Alabama prison, who's responsible for helping to organize one of the largest prison strikes. What's going on in the prisons in the United States? Is it China or is it America that imprisons more people than anybody in the world combined in terms of the developed countries? Which one is it? Which country still has a slave provision in their constitution? Y'all better wake up and smell the begonias. Yeah, I get on the Chinese and the Asians when they mess with our people. But you got to also understand the agenda that comes down from the whole of a nation and China itself versus individual Chinese people and individual Chinese companies. You hear me giving them that everlasting word, but I often make distinctions because there's a bigger devil. It's the same with us, black family. They had us sitting up here talking about how terrible Hitler was to while we was in Jim Crow. Under Jim Crow, we went over there to Germany to fight Hitler, to free the same people that come over here to tell us now we anti-Semitic. Ninja what? You were under the thumb of Hitler. We were still under Jim Crow and came over there to fight for you. Think about why we did it, America, black family. Because they made us more sympathetic to other people's plight than our own. What manner of man and woman are we to enlist in the U.S. military when we were under all forms of oppression? That's why I say we're uncheckable. Everybody come on in and hit that thumbs up button and share the broadcast. I shouldn't have to ask that or say that. You need to recognize the profundity and the power and the supremacy of the message you get here versus other places. Back to our brother in prison. Justice is known for filing lawsuits and assisting other incarcerated people. I said that, right? Hunger strikes, educational outreach, labor strikes, and other organizing tactics have successfully threatened the prison system despite retaliation. Y'all listen, in the forms of solitary confinement, starvation, and physical violence. Vicki knows something about solitary confinement. Can't nobody tell me nothing. All tactics are designed to achieve critical human rights demands, including an end to forced, y'all listen, unpaid prison labor, which can't nobody tell me nothing on that. How did Vicki learn how to professionally drive a freaking John Deere and become a master landscaper? Except that my labor, I was among some of the female prisons in the federal prisons in Texas whose labor was used for the U.S. military. That's who we work for. Including an end to forced unpaid prison labor, overcrowding, poor health care, and repressive prison legislation. Unsurprisingly, the leader of this collective resistance movement is being targeted yet again. Y'all listen. This time, a lawsuit says Lieutenant Jeremy Pelzer. I'm giving y'all the receipts. So when I give you the information, the question I'm going to ask you is what y'all going to do about our black family? It's up to you to take this broadcast and listen and write down the names and figure out what you can do about this. I was doing prison work before I was caught up in the system. My program was approved by the state of Colorado when I was going into prisons to teach and to serve. And once you get a reputation, they hamper me going back into the prisons now to serve. So when you ninjas want to know what you doing, you better get out my face. I do what I do and I am who I am in part because of the price I pay. With you hating, envious, funny looking ninjas out there. Lieutenant Jeremy Pelzer. Somebody put his name in the chat. Lieutenant Jeremy Pelzer. Jeremy, last name spelled Pelzer. Encourage other incarcerated people. Are y'all ready for this? To murder him. To murder justice. Once saying, quote, I'm tired of this bastard and his lawsuits. That's a lieutenant. That's why Vicki be looking at folks real suspicious when you tell me you a freaking CO. When your sister with the curly braids was put into the hole one time, it was not because of some wicked inmate, which I had those two. The staff who was wicked couldn't stand me. I was effective in also helping other prisoners with certain grievances. And I would often get the attention of the warden because of the unjust conditions that they would often put us in, including unsanitary conditions. And they tried to limit my legal work when I was trying to fight my appeals and so forth after my attorneys that was assigned to me was off on my case. It was inside of the prisons they were hampering my rights and denying me access to certain things. So in retaliation, the administrator and some of the staff conjured up a labor issue to make sure that I was put in the hole. And it took two other staff members, a captain and a dentist, to get me out. You heard? And my enemies in prison, when they heard why they put Vicki in there saying that Vicki wouldn't work, my enemies said, hell no, they knew that was a lie. My enemies knew I was so strict, they couldn't rock with me. Even my enemies wasn't going for that. They are devilish. And it was because of some of my family and my loved ones that regularly checked on me, that put pressure that I didn't, quote unquote, disappear. And the prison system counts on you being mad at your family, friend, or loved one and not to engage and to check on them to make sure that they're okay. They want to make sure that you're not engaged while they're retaliating against your loved ones by giving them hellish jobs and laborious jobs, putting them with people that they know have either mental issues or tendency for violence so that they can taunt you while you sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. They move you around every other day to disturb your mental health. They do dirty stuff. But when you find an inmate that's upright, that ain't doing no gay for the state that they can bust you for doing, talk black to me, somebody who doesn't receive contraband, who ain't round this mug tweaking from stuff that they get from the pharmacy. When you put a plant in the room with me, you still can't get nothing on Vicki. And then when the prison staff tells other prison staff she has too much power, you better check on your beloved family and loved ones that's disappeared. The reason why I can speak so forcefully and accurately about what the United States does around the world, when we do speak on Guantanamo Bay, when we do speak on internationals that are disappeared, we know the playbook because they do it to us. Can't tell me nothing. Just about nothing on nothing. I'm going to say this again. Lieutenant Jeremy Pelzer, P-E-L-Z-E-R, y'all write the name down, encouraged other incarcerated people to murder justice. Did you hear what I said? Y'all done missed it again. Lieutenant Jeremy Pelzer, P-E-L-Z-E-R, encouraged other incarcerated people to murder justice. Now, for those of you that don't understand that, when you're in a prison situation and you got a staff member that gives you that type of order, they will give you certain benefits and cover for you when you do the dirty work of staff. Do you understand? I said, do you understand? Some of you all don't understand how energies and spirits work. You still sit up here talking dumb. So hell yeah, I had to go deep in my black magic. No, I wasn't finna say, okay, precious. No, baby, you pulled out the savage in me. So you better ask the white administrator who was responsible for putting me in there. She told the black counselor to make sure I was in there. The black counselor confessed that the white administrator did it to me. That's the thing. That's the thing. See, that's the thing. That white administrator ended up being supernaturally put in a men's prison to go work over there as some little staff member for pedophiles. God dang and stuff. The counselor that was ultimately badgering me early on, she was forced out of her little contract. They had to take her to another side of the workplace that she didn't want to be in no more. Another one of the other prison staff that got on me did some little shady stuff. The ninja ended up retiring and started working for some kind of university. God dang. Y'all play y'all play too much. Y'all play too much. What y'all be thinking this is? I mean, for real with me, what y'all be really thinking this is? Running your mouth like you know me. Running your mouth. Is that scammer? Scam what, fool? Scam Wall Street, dummy? I know you ain't taking that one little weak lying talking point. Oh, she did so and so and so to this person over here. They said, you mean the mentally ill LGBT bishop lady who was busted and losing? You better get out of my face. I got judges and former officials that give me more credit than some of you little wicked devils. Thank you for putting the name in the chat, FB Queen. FB Queen put the name in the chat. Talk black to me. See, some of y'all know I ain't lying. That's right, Miss Sharice. She put the whole link in there. Lieutenant Jeremy Pelzer, Alabama guard accused of encouraging prisoners to murder organizing strikes. Let me tell you something. When inside the prison, when they had to get me out of the hole, because some of y'all don't know there's a prison inside the prison. After they pulled me off the base, the military base. And for that quick 5 minutes before they called me in, I called home and said, if you don't hear from me by X amount of time, do X, Y, and Z. And of course, when they called me to another department, Vicki Dillard, and of course in prison, you ain't that. It was another name I was known by, and you known by numbers. Turn around. They arrested me, put me in cuffs inside prison. When your brain works too good and you ain't no shady inmate that can't be bought off and it's not vulnerable, you become a threat. It wasn't just no wicked inmates, I said. Lieutenant Jeremy Pelzer encouraged other incarcerated people to murder justice, once saying, I'm tired of this bastard and all his lawsuits. When I was in the belly of the beast, I actually had a prison staff that was trying to charge me to do legal work. So because of the extensive legal work I was entitled to, she threatened to actually start charging me. So I was considered to be an anathema and a thorn in their side. Y'all play too much. The targeting only indicates the strength of the resistance movement and the need for the outside prison to support organized demands of incarcerated people. Whoever put that article in the chat, thank you for doing it. I need you all to get involved, family. And I need you to see the interconnection between our plight in America, which is why whenever I go off on Sean King, whenever I go off on Tamika Mallory, whenever I go off on Charlemagne, the guy, whenever I go off on those black shields, that's mad at Biden now because of what's happening in Gaza, the genocide in Gaza. They get mad at me because I told them his genocide against black folks in America was enough for you not to vote for him. The fact that he told you what he wasn't going to do for us, and the fact that Kamala told you that hell no, she not going to push reparations, that should have been enough. The fact that Kamala had a record as prosecutor in California, and then as attorney general, her reputation was lock him up. That should have been enough for y'all to know what was up. When a court ordered Kamala to release some of the prisoners because they were too because they were overcrowded. First of all, how many courts do you know sends an order to release prisoners because it's too crowded? So this once in a blue moon incident with the court that demanded that she release prisoners, they fought against it, talking about they needed the prisoners' labor as firefighters because they was making so much money for prisoners who were professional firefighters, and they didn't want to lose that benefit, but they didn't want to pay them either. So why don't you let them out and pay them $50 an hour as a firefighter there? No, you would rather pay them 40 cents an hour, 23 cents an hour, 26 cents an hour. I know that's not directly related to this notion of rolling, but I'm telling you, this is important, and it's something that I wanted to bring to the family, and it's something that I'm going to be talking about more and being involved in more. And yes, for a season, because of my own circumstances, they restrict my access to the prisons to teach and to serve like I used to years and years and years ago. But that doesn't stop me using my money, and it does not stop the support that we've given nonstop to federal prisons for years. Yeah. I say that for the knuckleheads and the haters out there. Our power as Black grassroots media is keeping before you what ought to be talked about. And when I point to injustice related to us and our issues, it's automatically going to help undo the injustice that's happening in such places like the Congo, in such places like Sudan, in places like Palestine. Because it's an issue of justice. Do you understand? Well, some of us who don't represent that old system or believe that you should legitimize an illegitimate system. What do I mean? When you continue to vote for a system that you know is devilish, murderous, anti-Black, and oppressive, you are empowering that system with your participation. Let me play this before I say more and before I get ready to go. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button, share. If you're just tuning in, be sure to watch the entire broadcast because I'm sure there's something important that you may have forgotten. Family, I was sent this video a few days ago, fresh attacks, R0land, running his mouth, coming for me, right? So I want you to listen to a couple of moments of something that R0land said most recently. Remember, it's not just about R0land. Remember, I told you it's the system that he represents and the system that he wants to keep up. It represents oppressive America. It represents the fall of America. It represents the weakness of his political system that we're not participating in. And it's why they're screaming and hollering and mad. Okay, now I know I had it here. Everybody be sure to hit that thumbs up button, share. Is this it? Thank you, family, for your patience. Thumbs up, share. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me cue it. And so then Merrick Garland waits until. Okay, I'm cueing it right now, family. Clark, thank you for your kind super chat. Your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Family, you're able now to give to the super chat. Y'all know how they demonetize me. So magically we're back. Or you can also give to my Cash App or PayPal. Also, Shalina, your gift, beloved, is blessed 1,000-fold. Okay, I think this is close to the part. Y'all listen closely, and I want you to keep paying attention to Roland's little irrelevant panel, the people that we're not listening to. I need you all to understand why media is warfare.
The question here, and Greg will correct me if I'm wrong, is whether or not the president, because he's the president, is subject to the same laws as everybody else. Well, that's an interesting question. You need to go over that. The Supreme Court needs to go over that. Apparently so. So obviously this court is acting and moving in a political way. But again, I don't know that we had expected that these cases would be resolved before the election anyway. So I'm not sure it made that much of a difference. But obviously the delays by Merrick Garland and now the court make it the case that obviously this won't be resolved before the election.
Now, okay, they sit here talking about the Trump stuff. I'm trying to give you a little bit of the context of what they were talking about before Roland was triggered about Vicki Dillard again, and a couple of other my brothers in media, black grassroots media. Now, I want you to see, here they are talking about white America screw-ups with America, right? How the courts are tripping, how they slow walking the Trump stuff, and on and on, right? Trump is a criminal. He's this, that, and the third, but he's still getting all this deference. He's still getting all these favors. The Supreme Court is hearing him. He's getting all this, that, and the third all over the place. All that is what white America is doing. But what do your black bootlicks do every time America screws up and does what she does? They blame us. We come out in droves to vote, but they say, Ninja, the reason why America's in the condition you in, black family, because you ain't voting hard enough. So every time white America screw up, Roland wobbles and bounces and rolls himself in our face to tell us to vote some more. But only harder this time. Then he says, even though we have the large, for our group, we overwhelmingly support and we are the largest demographic group, then they tell you to vote by an even larger margin. Every time white America screw up, they blame us and tell us, take your black tail out there and vote some more. Do you all see the finesse? Cherie, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. I need y'all to understand what's going on. Ninja, we're not going to vote our way out of oppression. You out your mind. Voting is a tool. Now watch. So y'all hear the context of this, right? I wanted you to hear what was said right before Roland got triggered. That's some madness, ain't it? Isn't that some madness? Y'all listen to what they're talking about. So how does what Roland is getting ready to say matches that segment of their conversation talking about the judges ruling over Trump? What triggered him into Vicki Dillard?
Control room, do me a favor, pull up the tweet from Eric Holder. Greg, I want to read this. This is what Eric Holder tweeted last night. There's no cavalry coming, no miracle solution, no saviors. In the end, we, the American people, not any of our institutions, have to save our democracy by voting in defense of that democracy this fall. We are the cavalry. Responsibility is ours. You know, I've been on, I don't even want to name this idiot. I call her Bad Lace Front. She's one of these loudmouths on YouTube. And
I call her Bad Lace Front. She's one of these loudmouths on YouTube. That whole segment, as you can see with the title on the ticker, is about Trump's appeals, the judge's ruling kicking him off the presidential primary ballot. Do y'all understand? See, we're tormenting Roland. This is proof that I'm winning. God today. The lady that has braids. These are braids, Roland. I wear braids. I wear braids. And yes, in part because of medical stuff. But Roland, just like some of the basketball players and some of the celebrities, they talk about my hair. They mock my hair. Is it because I robbed somebody? Did I steal? No, it's because Vicki's content that she's telling Black America is not in support of the Democrat Party. It's not in support of the deep state. It's not in support of the shadow government. So whenever I attack her, somebody who is an upright woman, let's always start by either calling them Simple Simon mother effers or talking bad lace front. You ninjas that even know what a lace front is are scaring me with your juicy, dewy selves. You ought not even know what no lace front is, ninja. Every time you ninjas open up your mouth about a woman's hair and the color of her hair and her hairstyle, you too dewy. You too dewy. You too dewy. Something is wrong at home. Something wrong at home. I'm talking about revolutionary stuff. And you sit up here talking about bad lace fronts. R0land is tortured. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know R0land was begging for money not too long ago. The money he brags that he got now and stuff like that. Remember, he mad at the Democrats. Y'all know R0land is going through a lot right now. I understand. I do. I really do. He tortured. Tortured. Okay, y'all listen now.
That obviously this won't be resolved before the election.
Control room, do me a favor, pull up the tweet from Eric Holder. Greg, I want to read this. This is what Eric Holder tweeted last night. There's no cavalry coming, no miracle solution, no saviors. In the end, we, the American people, not any of our institutions, have to save our democracy by voting in defense of that democracy this fall.
Watch the trigger.
We are the cavalry. Responsibility is ours. You know, I've been on, I don't even want to name this idiot. I call her Bad Lace Front. She's one of these loudmouths on YouTube. And you know what, matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, you got loudmouths like this dude and Philip Doom, Jason Black, Philip Scott, Vicki, Dillard, all these fools who sit here and go, oh no, y'all talking about voting, telling folks not to vote. These idiots do not understand what these folks plan on doing. They have no idea what Project 2025 is. They have no idea what they're going to unleash on black people. And Eric Holder is right. The only way to shut this down is to hand Donald Trump another big L.
Absolutely.
Family. The problem with your bootlicks, like I keep telling you, is that they're representing oppressive political parties that have no intention of doing nothing for you. What do the Democrats in Congress, who they want you to vote for, what does Joe Biden plan to do? What did Joe Biden tell us a couple of years ago, 2 months approximately before he took the oath of office? What did Joe Biden tell us? Joe Biden gave us a hint, did he not, of what the goings on of what was getting ready to go down in America and the plan from the Democrats, didn't he? Didn't he, family?
This country is doomed. This country is doomed. This country is doomed.
Why, Joe?
It is doomed, not just because of African Americans.
So including black folks, we're the number one reason, not just because of black Americans, which means including you. Y'all the first reason America is doomed. What's the other reason, Joe?
But because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European.
So white people say it's a catastrophe because their numbers are low and they are leaving the planet. They said that because their numbers are dwindling, America's doomed. What else? What other little hint did Joe give us?
Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics.
Did you hear that, Ninja? Just tell you a little bit about the immigration plan that him and the Democrats and the Republicans plan on doing. Do you all understand that white folks are freaking out that they're going to be replaced, and it's not just the Democrats? So when you see Joyless Reed's funny-looking self on MSNBC talking about the Democrats and the Republicans and the MAGA party, she never plays you what Joe Biden said, how America is doomed because of black folks. And because white folks are going to be the minority 2040. And the fact that they told us we're going to be forced to work with the Hispanics. What else are the Democrats openly admitting their plot and their plans? What do the Democrats plan on doing? What's the agenda of the Democrats? Let's see what senior Congressman Dick Durbin, senator out of Illinois, says.
And you can pass the.
What's the plan, Dick Durbin?
Which addresses one.
This is just from a month or so ago.
Aspect to that. Her bill, and I hope I describe it accurately, says that if you're an undocumented person in this country and you can pass the physical and the required test, background test, the like, you can serve in our military, and if you do it honorably, we will make you citizens of the United States.
The Democrats said that they want the illegals, the people that broke federal law, to come here and to serve in the U.S. military, and then we're going to turn around and give you citizenships and U.S. goodies. Is that what they said they're going to do? We're going to give y'all some goodies. You lawbreakers. We're going to give you some goodies. Is that what they said? Talk black to me, somebody. Is that what they said? What about Chuck Schumer?
Now more than ever.
Chuck Schumer is a senior, long-term senator out of New York. What did he say last year at a press conference about immigration? Immigrants, illegal immigrants.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own with the same level that it used to. The only way we're going to have a great future in America is if we welcome and embrace immigrants, the dreamers, and all of them, because our ultimate...
Y'all know the dreamers are the illegals. Listen again to what your Democrat senator said, why we need to give all the illegals access to America.
Now more than ever, we're short of workers. We have a population that is not reproducing it on its own.
We have a population that's not reproducing on its own. Who's that population that Senator Chuck Schumer is referring to when he said we got a population that's not producing the kids no more? They not having no babies no more. It's a catastrophe. Now more than ever, we got to make the illegals legal. One senator said, because we're having problems, y'all know that your government, they're missing the military quotas. Y'all know that, right? So Dick Durbin is freaking out because that means that the U.S. empire can't keep pimping and bullying and murdering the rest of the world without our 1,000 military bases and installation around the world. You got to have killers for that. You got to have military folks for that. And America is low on her quotas because Americans are not passing the test. So America's empire can only be sustained. She can only bully and steal and kill and destroy the rest of the world with the military. So do you see how they're getting allies and how they're using the immigration issues for multiple reasons, including having babies so that they can have illegal immigrant babies as allies for the white supremacists whose numbers are diminishing? But R0land and the rest of these black shields want to tell us, keep voting Democrat. We voted for a black president. The black president, not only did he not try to push reparations when he had both the House and the Senate to pass it. You know the reason why he didn't do it? It's not because of the Republicans don't want reparations only. It's because the Democrats don't want reparations. Joe Biden, the first couple of years, had a House that was run by what? Democrats and a Senate. If the Democrats wanted us to have it, we could have had it under Obama and under Biden. So whenever R0land and them started talking about back in the day how the Republicans, no, ninja, you didn't need them. You all don't want us to have it. The plans for the Democrats. Why did Vicki bring up the domestic war and genocide that's still happening with our people in the prisons. This is still all happening under Democrats, and they don't want to do nothing about it. And then they don't want you to give us reparations, which would bring a level of justice and would bring a level of balance in every area, in terms of crime, in terms of education, in terms of medical, in terms of economics, in every imaginable way. We would benefit with reparations. And they tell us, hell no. So in the meantime, we're still being disappeared. We're still being tortured and murdered. In the meantime, other people are still getting priorities over us. And the Democrats are telling you what their agenda is. R0land wants you to vote for illegals to get money, and for Israel and Russia to keep getting hundreds of billions of our very black dollars. That's what they want you to vote for. And he specifically talked about Trump not getting in office no more. Is Trump a devil? Hell yeah. Vicki's only point is the Biden and the Democrats are devils. What's worse than the black genocide here in the United States and the genocide over there that Israel and America is committing in Palestine? I said, what's worse than the black genocide here in America, for which they don't want to compensate us for with reparations, and the ongoing genocide that we see that they are responsible for, not just in Palestine? Do you know that the hell that's being unleashed in the Congo and in the Sudan, America's dirty hands is all on it? Y'all know that? Do you all know that your government is now punishing many of the African countries because they have been passing what America considers to be anti-LGBT laws? So now that your U.S. government is imposing economic sanctions on multiple African nations? Do y'all know that? I want you to look up a program called AGOA. Stands for African Growth Opportunity Act. Now that President Museveni of Uganda been passed, his government been passed it. Most recently, Ghana's parliamentarians in both houses passed it. Now they're waiting for their president to sign it. But now there's a little snag there because there's been an alleged objection to it in the Supreme Court. The State Department came out and admitted that they were having private conversations with Ghana and told them if they pass this, that there's going to be repercussions. Do you all know that your U.S. government, even under Donald Trump, in order for them to remove some of the economic sanctions and in order for them to give certain benefits to some of the African countries like Kenya, do you all know that we embedded in some of their, in our agreement with them, that they had to restart talks with Israel and that they could not publicly denounce Israel on some stuff? So when you see Kenya acting a fool right now, President Ruto over there in Kenya is moving real shady. That's the one that was willing to send 1,000 of Kenyans to Haiti at the behest of America. America and the West don't want you to think that their dirty hands is not involved in what's going on in Haiti right now. They was the ones that was all for Kenya sending their black soldiers. But the Kenyan Supreme Court, the Supreme Court over there in Kenya said, hell no, that's illegal. So Kenya sent their envoys to Haiti to try to get an agreement going so that it would resolve the issue back home in Kenya. But right now, it's another snag in Kenya from them sending their soldiers. But the UN in America is all for them sending certain parts of the UN. Like France and America in the UK types. Did you all know that in some of that legislation, in a couple of the different African nations, they told Africa, as a part of that agreement, we're going to remove so-and-so from the terrorist list. We're going to lift some of these sanctions. But embedded in that legislation, they said you can't say nothing about Israel. And in fact, those of you who disconnected your relationship with Israel, you have to agree in this legislation to restart talks with Israel. The hell? Why is your U.S. government demanding African countries either restart relationships with Israel or can't speak against Israel and lace it in other types of legislation? Why is your government right now under the Democrats, R0land Martin, threatening many of the African countries with economic sanctions because America says they're passing anti-LGBT laws? The hell? This is under the Democrats. Yes, COVID started under Trump, but what administration is responsible for helping to destroy Black businesses, shutting down? They told us we couldn't even go exercise. Who's responsible for a lot of folks being evicted out of their homes, homes being foreclosed, cars being snatched up, businesses lost? That was under the Democrats. Who was the one that took the mandates to catastrophic levels? Yes, Trump was a devil and started some of that vaccine stuff, but it was the Democrats that took it to the next level, fool. It was the Democrats that mandated and told you that if you didn't get the shot, your whole world will end. How many of y'all heard about the Twitter files? I've been talking about this. What's the Twitter files? Before Elon Musty, I'm the one that came up with the name Musty. I see other people running around talking about this one and that one is Musty, but y'all know I came up with that name a long time ago, calling him Elon Musty. Bo, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Bo said, Vicki, my beloved sister, I am truly at peace when you deliver that fire. Be one. Thank you, beloved, and talk black to me. I love you back, beloved. Watch this. What did the Twitter files reveal, family? Which shouldn't be no surprise to Black folks. The Twitter files reveal that under the Democrats' Biden administration was illegally pressuring the social media platforms to censor us, even true and accurate information that was being put out about COVID. Do you all know a court recently overturned Biden, recently ruled against the government? Information was released, and Elon Musty did release some of this information when he took over Twitter, but that showed that it was a Democrat administration that was putting pressure on these social media platforms. They're the ones that was helping to exacerbate and to silence our Black voices. Now, I know a lot of white folks is real excited now to get credit for being revolutionary to talk about all the stuff about COVID now. But Ninja, y'all was not being demonetized and censored before Vicki Dillard was. Because before COVID started, y'all was shutting me down for telling the truth. You took it to the next level with COVID. And I was personally invited by Minister Farrakhan, approved by Minister Farrakhan, to come to the garden in Illinois to attend the event where he addressed the entire world a few years ago about COVID and told everybody not to take it. So I'm saying, don't play yourself like y'all was the revolutionary ones that started this. The same way y'all now are admitting that certain parts of Zionism, now your U.S. government is passing laws throughout the country, trying to, in some cases successfully, where they're changing the definition of anti-Semitism because of the pressure of the powerful Israel-American Jewish pact known as AIPAC that pays off your government, Democrats and Republicans. Marjorie, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. So it's foreign government infiltration that y'all approve of. Many of you in the name of Jesus. That's the reason why I deal with spirituality, because I snatch up your notions of Jesus. And I snatch up, most importantly, the interpretation that they gave you about Jesus. And the apocalypse and what they tell you is going to happen in the end times. I got to shift your weird little brains. Because y'all really do think he finna get ready to mount in that place over there that they call Israel? Y'all still think that with all their genocidal tendencies, that your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is involved in that? whenever they tell you vote, 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 you had a black president. What did when black folks overwhelmingly supported Obama? Remember, Obama gave Minister Farrakhan the middle finger before he was even nominated as president. Just when he was planning the campaign, he solicited the support of the Nation of Islam, and they gave him his support. Obama made it clear it ain't finna. This is all it's gonna be. It ain't finna be no revolutionary nothing. Obama then turned around and denounced Minister Farrakhan and denounced Reverend Wright. Why did they denounce Minister Farrakhan and Reverend Wright? Why did the white media and why did a black man, it was a black journalist, was one of the ones that first gave white media the fodder to go after Reverend Wright? Did y'all know that? Yeah, it was a black man that lifted some of the sermons of Reverend Wright and gave it to the white world to go crazy. Reverend Wright and Minister Farrakhan have international connections. They're both servants in their own way to humanity and spiritual. So if you can imagine, do you know the threat that getting counsel from Minister Farrakhan and counsel from Reverend Wright, do you know what that would have done to the deep state and to the neocons and the elite? So they made sure they nipped that in the bud before they let that ninja become president. And you ninjas went out there and bragged about and justified and reasoned why you understood why Obama denounced the man who married him and baptized his children, and why he denounced and re-denounced. Who publicly told Obama, in other words, he did not denounce Minister Farrakhan hard enough, and so Obama turned around and denounced him again? Who did it? Where are my intelligent black people? Somebody put it in the chat. Why did Obama who urged Obama to denounce Minister Farrakhan again before the whole world? Somebody put the name in the chat. Somebody put this mass murderer's name in the chat. Joe Biden? No, not Joe Biden. Somebody else. Who was it? You got it right, because I gave y'all the hint. Hillary Clinton. And he did it. Yes, Trump was dead wrong to be talking about Obama's birth certificate stuff. But it was not Trump that conceived the idea. Do you all know that when Hillary was battling for presidency with Obama, it was Hillary's camp that seeded the Obama birth certificate lie? Trump just ran with it later when he was when he got involved in the campaign. But it was the Clinton campaign that started. Did y'all know that? Y'all better stop this stuff. R0land is up on the stage dancing with Hillary Clinton. The people, because remember, it was her husband that signed the legislation, Joe Biden's 94 crime bill that he crafted. It was your Democrats that did that, which means that they helped to destroy at least 2 generations of black folks. This is who they want us to keep voting for. And they keep telling us it's going to be worse under Trump. I'm not saying Trump is not terrible. I'm not trying to say that Trump ain't the devil. And I'm not trying to say that Trump is not going to do something that's dirty and stupid. I'm agreeing that he very likely will. But I'm saying so do the Democrats, which is why I keep asking you when they keep telling you how bad it's going to be under Trump. What's worse than the black genocide that Joe Biden and the Clintons and the Democrats are responsible for in America? And what's worse than the genocide and the mess making that they got all throughout the continent of Africa and including Palestine? What's worse than genocide, Joyless? What's worse than what we're dealing with now, silly? Black folks can't even pay a lot of their bills at home. Rent is high. That's what I'm hearing from you all. Some of you all telling me that you can't tell how wonderful the so-called Bidenomics is because y'all telling me the inflation is still high. And you get 4 items at the store for $75. That's what y'all telling me. By the way, you need to be getting the vault spiritual money oil. It's all black to me. We got to pull out our black magic, our spiritual stuff. This is under Democrats. What I'm trying to tell you is don't let them deflect on Trump. Tell them how horrible and how much of what hell we're dealing with under them. Tell them it's y'all that came up with the mandates that destroy black businesses. It's y'all that threatened us that if we didn't take the shots, that it's over, we would lose our jobs. It's you all that's behind the Twitter files that help to silence and censor us and to shut us down. It's you fools that are also overwhelmingly for this TikTok legislation that's meant to silence us. Do you all know that's what that TikTok stuff is about? So it's about China. Fool, China ain't studying us. The little bit of ownership that China had in TikTok, do you all know that the people that own TikTok, they're capitalists, they just trying to make money? Do you all know that they turned over the censorship, I'm going to call it the censorship department, but the part of TikTok that regulates and censors, do you know that they turned that over to the U.S. government? Do you all know that former intelligence agencies are the ones that run that censorship part of TikTok? TikTok don't give a damn about that. TikTok trying to make money, fool. Why? Because some of y'all been saying, well, America been surveillancing us, Vicki. Shout out to our brother, Wall Street Trapper. He's wonderful on a lot of things, but I did comment today on his post this morning when he put out there, he said he admitted that America does steal our data and use our information, but he said China is the enemy. He said if we let China keep on it, China gonna have our data. Ninja, y'all better sit y'all, you know what down? The hell is wrong with you? What do you mean China the enemy? If you participated in my latest 911 pandemic, the replay is available on my website at VickiPlanet.com. Just click the link above. That's my website. Go to the front of my website and scroll down. You will see the link to purchase a replay of my 911 webinar. 4 hours long I did by myself. I revealed to you testimony, video footage. Some video footage. I gave you a lot of video footage, and I gave you other receipts from a former government official in the United States. He's the one that's been talking about a lot, among others, what's known as the censorship industrial complex. It's a play off of the word prison industrial complex and military industrial complex. While he worked on the Obama administration, on the Trump administration, he started to unwind a lot of what your government has been doing and the surveillance that they were doing. Now, yes, we know about the Patriot Act that happened after 9/11. They did it intentionally so they could steal your information and get you to give up your rights willingly. Some of you are saying, well, they've been surveillancing us and it's something wrong that y'all are okay with it because there ain't enough pushback on it. Yes, the United States has been surveillancing us, but it's at a whole nother level now. That was a part of the Twitter files. But more than that, the censorship industrial complex, as it's been known as colloquially, they're pissed at us now more than ever. They're not just snooping on us. They're now actively trying to shut us down. When Trump was elected in 2016, as this government official admits, it took the censorship with the U.S. government and its intelligence agencies to another level. Why? It's not just that we were out here on social media thinking for ourselves, speaking for ourselves. It's now there's actual consequences. And I'm connecting this now to the TikTok legislation that both houses of Congress are backing. There are 100 million people that I'm told that actively are on TikTok, and a large portion of them are the youth. They're pretending like those handful of individuals that got caught up in some unfortunate stuff that's happening on TikTok. They're trying to make it look like your babies are in danger with TikTok as if they're not in danger on all these social media platforms. They're trying to get you to think that TikTok is the worst kind of devil out there. No, ninja. TikTok damn near has a third of the U.S. actively using it. And because of that, they found that a lot of the sentiment that people are starting to have, for example, now that are against the genocide against the Palestinians by Israel and America over there, they're finding out that a lot of the youth are forming these opinions in large numbers that they never had before. But that's because they're doing all of these videos and these retweets and all this other, not retweets. You know how they do these TikToks and they take another video and another video, and another video. These things are going viral to where this sentiment against Israel now has grown. This goes back to the APAC connection of these lobbyists that buys your Congress. Did you all know that the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League that's run by the Jewish folks, did you all know that they met with the TikTok leadership some months ago? Did you know that the ADL talked about the urgency of checking TikTok because the ADL is responsible for the propagandizing and lies of the Zionists? So they found out that the reason why the world is starting to turn against them, and especially the youth, is because we're able to communicate amongst ourselves. And y'all listen to folks like us. And the middleman and the middle women who serves as a functional state media for your Democrat regime right now are a problem. So now that you can think for yourself, speak for yourself, and communicate amongst yourself, you are a problem. So the reason it took to a new level in 2016 is because Trump was elected. They didn't want Trump in office. And they attributed a lot of that to social media. So that's the reason why now more than ever it matters about the surveillance, and they're taking it to a new level, and they're rushing it, and they're taking active steps because you got an election coming up in just a few months. And even with all Trump's admitted crimes, and Trump is a devil. So you ninjas out here trying to act like he ain't, you a liar. And he is a devilish racist. But he's not the only devilish racist, is my point. Notwithstanding all that, Trump has just secured the Republican nomination for presidency. So it's going to be him and Biden. Trump was saying some scary stuff about NATO, which all of white America and the West wants. Trump said some things that upset some of the war factions. They didn't like that he was meeting with Putin because they want y'all to think that Putin is a devil. They want you to believe that the former Soviets are the devil. Ninja, do you all know that the Soviets was against apartheid? What is wrong with y'all? America was for apartheid. It took black folks in America to rise up against America to put economic sanctions on South Africa for them to stop. How was they on the right side of history? Did y'all know that it was the Russians that fought the Nazis too? And y'all do know it wasn't just the Jews that Hitler killed. Do y'all know how many of the others, like Poles and Russians, that were murdered? It's just so much that they got us tricked up on. Watch this. But because some of y'all waking up, the reason why I started a TikTok, because a couple years ago, people were sending me videos with thousands of views where y'all was taking my clip from other platforms. They was putting Vicki out there on TikTok. I said, where's these videos coming from? It was on TikTok. Y'all was putting them on TikTok. I wasn't even fooling with TikTok about a year and some change ago. That's why they doing this. And if y'all that dumb, that you gonna say, what? Communist China, ninja, what you fussing about their government for food when you ain't even got reparations? They still got a provision for slavery for you in America. Talk black to me. I gotta go. R0land is nervous about our power. When Tiffany Cross-eyed, God today, when Tiffany Cross-eyed was on MSNBC, she was using that white corporate propagandistic arm of the U.S. government to tell the world not to listen to folks like us. Now this black woman wants you to think that she is a victim of MSNBC. Joy Reid mocked us and continues to mock us. Joy Reid uses her platform on MSNBC to dog us. Donna Lemonade, before they unceremoniously kicked him out after a very long and storied career at CNN. Didn't he though? That white woman took him down. He was one of the first ones that helped to push mandates against us because we weren't getting in line with the shots. He don't have no job no more. Just like Tiffany don't have one over there no more. trying to tell you all. And Roland been kicked out of CNN. Don't forget, Roland's diabolical sneaky work he was doing with the Clinton campaign came out in the WikiLeaks files. The reason why we know we got emails from Roland and information about Roland working when Hillary was getting ready to do that debate, he preemptively gave them the question that they was going to be asked. Roland was willing to do the dirty work for this white woman who's responsible for pushing propaganda against Black folks, legislation for which her husband signed that destroyed 2 generations of Black folks. Roland wasn't just dancing with her some years later. Years later, behind the scenes, he was doing the dirty work for their campaign debates. I want y'all to understand that came out in the WikiLeaks files. Roland is mad because I keep bringing up and giving y'all those receipts because these are different elements that are not often talked about. So when I tell you they're complaining about social media, they're trying to silence us. So you can ask yourself this question before I get out of it with this TikTok legislation, all this other stuff. The reason why it's bipartisan is because both the Democrats and Republicans don't want you thinking for themselves. Yourself, they want to control everything. Tom, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Tom said, I got to up your pay on purpose, V. Keep going. Thank you, precious. Thank you for your kind gift. Listen. Your Democrats only become bipartisan when it comes down to Israeli money, Ukraine money, and censorship. Your mainstream media is pushing it. Why? Because we're the threat to mainstream media. So yes, Joy Reid and them are talking about TikTok and Facebook and all this other kind of stuff and trying to get you to think, oh, it's just about, you ought to be worried about your child and some weird stranger, some anonymous person on TikTok that might unduly influence your child. There's more going on than that. Trump was not supposed to be elected. They're proving in no limit of time that us thinking for ourselves, communicating with ourselves is giving us power. And yes, you are hearing white folks and white independent media outlets talking about this now, but we was on it first. I said we was on it first. But now the white folks can run behind and give you the evidence and the receipts and stuff. Y'all giving them more credit. You better remember we told you first. You better remember with the times that I was on all these other platforms and telling you the times that in the middle of the broadcast I was snatched off because your sister was telling you the truth before the pandemic. Now they sitting up here talking about how the feds and even Trump's funny looking self talking about how the feds are a mess and all that. Ninja, when were they not for Black folks? We've been told y'all the CIA and the feds was working against us. White folks didn't have no problem with it until they start turning on themselves. Y'all done woke up and smelled the begonias. If you're just tuning in, my name is Vicki Dillard. I'm a media personality and a spiritual teacher. Be sure to join my spiritual mastermind school for a very, very, very low cost before the price goes up here. Family, click the link above because you can access the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. I give you powerful spiritual insights so that you can manifest your unique destiny and experience all types of transformation. Beloved, you can also get my Venus Goddess magazine that's going to be available for a few more days to purchase. You can click the link above as well there. I got so many yummy goodies as well, and I've got a new oud oil. I'm going to be talking more and more about that. How many of you all remember hearing about ancient herbs and resins throughout the Bible, throughout the Quran and other holy texts? Well, there's a reason why that happens. It's a reason why the Saudi billionaires use certain types of herbs over there. And it's a reason why a whole lot of them are hella rich, where we're going to tap into some of that because I happen to have a Black supplier that gets the raw stuff from over that way. Some of you all that believe in your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, and the story of Nazareth, in the story of him being born in a manger, you understand that they tell us the wise men brought him what? Frankincense and myrrh, right? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. Have you ever wondered what was the importance of myrrh? What's the importance of some of those items that he was given? Why was he given frankincense? Why was he given certain types of incense? So before you go losing your little silly mind talking about a scam, Make sure that you make sure that you scrutinize spiritual products. Don't be scratching your head wondering why the elite have certain benefits that you don't have when you mock it. God, today. Famously Blacker, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Oh my goodness. Keep going, lady. Is that my sister, Tashina? Oh my God, I love y'all so much. I don't know if I said that right, but anyway, family, I got to get ready to run now. I love y'all so much. I'm your sister with the curly braids. Y'all hit that thumbs up button, share. Be sure to join my email list at VickiPlanet.com. Family, thank you all so much for tuning in. Be sure to share. I can't wait to see you again.